Welcome to another episode of Great Conversations and Guests, man. It's your boy Turbo. I'm back with another episode. We just came off another good weekend of sports, man. We're going to get into some NBA games. We're going to get into some NBA talk. We're going to get into some college football games. And then, we already going to get into some NFL games, too. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on the video. And we're going to dive right into it for y'all. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe on the video too. So first thing I want to get into, shout out to my boy Melo Ball, because like we've been giving a good shout out to him all season. He's been putting up 29 points per game. I think he should be in the MVP talk, but since his team ain't really winning like that, you already know how that goes. But over the last couple of games, he's just been balling out. He just had his career high 50 points against the Bucks, and then just last night he just dropped 44. So man, that's what 94 points in a few days. That's just crazy, man. And the way he's shooting the ball, I think they said he's gonna be like the fastest to 600 threes in the season already, and we ain't even played almost 25 games. It's just crazy. But ultimately, I just feel like it gotta start resulting to wins for him. You feel me? They just played a Magic team that I thought was gonna definitely be falling since Paulo Banchero dropped, but Foz Wagner and a couple of other players been stepping up and keeping the Magics up in the Eastern Conference like that. So I just feel like if a team like the Magic can do it without they star player, to me, they star player being Paolo Banchero, I feel like with the Hornets having LaMelo Ball and players to complement him like Brandon Miller, because Brandon Miller been matching every these last couple of games. Melo been balling out. Brandon Miller been right there, right behind him, 30 points, double doubles. When you got a players like this, you can't waste this type of talent. You feel me? Because you don't know how long you will have that type of talent around. So you feel me? Shout out to Melo Ball hitting his career high at 50 points. But like I said, ultimately they got to result to wins. And until then, he just he just he just statting the, he just filling the stat sheet. You feel me? Another good game was the Raptors took on Detroit, came down to a buzzer beater. Jaden Ivey had a good game, 25 points, led Detroit to a good win. You feel me? I feel like Detroit starting to show a little promise. You feel me? They've been showing like uh, if you ain't coming out on the gates on top of them, they gonna put up a fight. And as long as they put up a fight, they if it's that third, fourth quarter, and they still hanging around, they gonna try to have a chance to win the game. Especially with a shorty like Jaden Ivey. To me, I feel like last year they kind of went away from him when Cade Cunningham came back. He kind of came off the bench, and then they tried to put him up in the starting lineup, and it kind of messed up his flow, especially how he came out his rookie year playing so well. You feel me? But I feel like this year he's starting to get back to more his way. He's more comfortable. They got him in the starting lineup. You feel me? They giving him like they letting him know he good. He can do what he can do, especially with Cade Cunningham up on the court too. So look for Detroit to probably make a push for that 8th, 7th seed. Them and the Hornets, man, they both young, but they gotta step it up. You feel me? Another good game was the Mavericks took on the Hawks with no Luka or with no Klay Thompson. You feel me? Kyrie Irving said he got it, put the team on his back, scored 32. You feel me? Marshall he been coming up big for them in this season too. Like he had 22 last night, 22, 6 boards. You feel me? PJ Washington had a double double. You feel me? Spencer Dinwiddie 22. Hardy had 23, so the team came out and hoop, uh, feeding off Kyrie Irving aura. They came out seeing he was firing, so everybody else came out doing the same thing and came out with a big win over the Atlanta Hawks, who I feel like they really still trying to find themselves in this season. But for the Mavericks to get a win like that over a good Hawks team, you feel me, with no Luka or with no Klay Thompson, that shows a lot about the role players that they got. Hopefully they can be able to step up. The Celtics just crushed the Clippers. It really wasn't even no contest. You feel me? But Porzingis came back. This was Porzingis' first game back. He dropped 16 and 6. You feel me? First game back. Slight. He only played 23 minutes. You feel me? But now it's really finna get. I feel like Porzingis coming back is really finna get critical on teams now because the Celtics are already averaging like 33 pointers without him. So now when he on the court, you gotta worry about him shooting a three at an efficient rate and him getting his boards and getting down low. So Man, Joe, it's finna get real scary for the Eastern Conference right now. You feel me? My boy John Morant came back from after being sidelined with a hip injury. He came back right back where he left off at, double double, 22 points, 11 assists, getting everybody involved. You feel me? Jaren Jackson had a nice game. He been stepping up ever since John went down with his little injury. You feel me? He dropped 21. Brandon Clark had 11 and 9 boards. Like I said, John Morant 22 with 11. Saudi Adama 17 boards, a career high. And everybody else just pitching in here and there like they supposed to. Defensively had 13 blocks, 7 steals, 22 deflect passes. So like I said, Memphis gonna play some good defense. They just and Desmond Baines. I don't know what's been going on with Desmond Baines, but he only had 8 points, but he need to find this rhythm and get back to himself because he ain't been himself ever since he came off this injury. I don't know if he fully healed or what, but he need to snap out of it, come back because we really need him too. His 3-point shots and what he can do, attacking the basket too. Like it mean a lot to that. It mean a lot to that team. We already know he gonna play defense. He gonna get steals. You feel me? He gonna get a couple of blocks here and now. You know what he gonna do. But we definitely need him on the offensive side too though. So we gonna see what's gonna happen with that. Shout out to the Knicks, man. The Knicks had a crazy win over the Nuggets. Put up 145 over the Nuggets. You feel me? OG had a 40-point game out of nowhere. I know it. I was never expecting no OG to score no 40 points. So I know can't nobody else say they had him scoring no 40 points either. But Karl Anthony Towns had 30, and Jalen Brunson had 17 assists. I've been waiting on Jalen Brunson to just show some glimpses of what he did, even if it went from the playoffs or to the regular season of last year. He ain't really been showing it, but I guess you can call last night one of those nights he had dropped 17 assists, 23 points. So all in all, we gonna see though. We're gonna see how long they can ride this. It was a nice win. And what's in Carlton Towns he been putting up these type of he been averaging a double double since he landed in New York. You feel me? I think he probably like it a little more over there than he like it in Minnesota. I probably think he got it. I think at this point right now he probably a first option and everybody else just gonna feed off him. But like I said, a huge win for the Knicks though. And shout out to them and shout out to OG hitting a career high. You feel me? And then y'all already know tonight, you feel me? It's the in-season tournament game. So check out the in-season tournament games. The Bulls taking on the Wizards. The Bucks take on the Heat. The Rockets take on the Timberwolves. The Spurs take on the Jazz. And the Lakers take on the Suns. You already know that's gonna be a good game. You feel me? But I got the Lakers over the Suns just because Kevin Durant hurt right now. Uh and all they got really is Devin Booker. He been trying to hold it down, but I don't know how long he gonna be able to do it. Bradley Beal over there, but I be forgetting he over there sometimes. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all because he don't even be you don't hear nothing about his name no more. So I don't really look at. I starting to look at him like a role player at this point in his career now. You feel me? Since he went over to the Suns and took a back seat, but you feel me? Look for the Lakers to take that win. The Spurs and the Jazz take the Spurs. Like I said, Wembanyama been going. He been putting up crazy numbers. He been going crazy lately. You feel me? Like I said, I don't know if they heard me or if somebody said something. I just said I feel like they should run the offense more through Wemby. And I feel like anytime they start running the offense more through Wemby, they get the wins and Wemby put up crazy numbers. So pick the Spurs over the Jazz. You feel me? The Rockets over the Timberwolves. You feel? Nah, I'm gonna take the Timberwolves over the Rockets. Just because the Rockets play ain't really been consistent how it was early on in the season, and I kind of figured that was gonna happen for them. You feel me? They was gonna come out because they kind of did that last year. It's like they kind of exerted their energy. They did all that during the early on in the season. Then later on in the season, they didn't have enough to finish. So look for the Timberwolves to get that win. The Bucks and the Heat. That's gonna always be a good game when the Bucks and the Heat play each other. But the Bucks been hot lately. The Bucks been hot lately. I think they was like 6-1 and they last like 8 games they last like 7 games or something like that. So the Bucks been hot. So look for them to ride that, keep riding that little wave they on to beat the Heats. And the Bulls and the Wizards, man, that's a coin toss right there. Cause the Bulls I don't know what's going on with the Bulls, man. They'll lose to the weakest team and then they'll beat the best team. So I don't know, just it's whatever with them. But make sure y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about all in all about the NBA and who y'all think gonna win the in season tournament game. And I want y'all to also leave an extra comment because uh we had some people. I was debating with some people about MVP roles year and type of year that LaMelo Ball having right now, and everybody keeps saying that that Rose is still way out of LaMelo Ball league, even though to me I think LaMelo, some parts of LaMelo Ball game is better than what part of Rose game was when he won that MVP. And everybody know that I'm a hard Rose fan. You feel me? No homo. You feel me? So, but yeah, make sure y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about that too, though. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe too on the video. And next thing we're gonna get into some college football talk. So number 8, Miami wins big. Cam Ward show a big time, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns. Keep his Heisman campaign running strong. Uh, second straight week, man, we done seen Florida knock off a top team. They done knocked off the number 9 Ole Miss, 24-17, and man, the Gators, man, I ain't gonna lie. This season we've been seeing a lot of teams. A lot of teams been falling to a lot of unranked teams, and that's what you just love about college football. But for 2 weeks in a row, Florida done knocked off 2 top ranked teams. So shouts out to Florida. They trying to get them a bowl. They trying to get them a bowl at the end of this season. So if they can keep it up, they gonna definitely find themselves in some type of bowl game for sure. Number two, Ohio State took on number 5, University of Indiana, and to me that was gonna be the biggest game that afternoon. You feel me? And I thought Indiana was gonna put up much more of a fight than they did. You feel me? Ohio State ended up winning the game 38-15. They ain't really overblow them out. I just recently seen the polls that IU ain't dropped that far out. They still at number 10, so they college football playoff hopes still alive. So I think that's big for college football too, because the Hoosiers definitely be must see football for sure. But they just ran up on Ohio State, and Ohio State was just too much. I really think it was I think it was they played in Columbus, and since they played in Columbus, man, that's just a hard place to win at anyway. But shout out to Ohio State for holding it down. Number 16, Colorado took a loss to Kansas, man, and we're gonna see what that's gonna do for their Big 12 championships. Hopefully they can probably still make it into the big game. We're gonna see though, but Shador Sanders had a clean game, 266 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns. Travis Hunter, 125 yards receiving. He had 2 touchdowns, but ultimately they failed just because they get the Kansas ran the ball all over Colorado, 331 rushing yards. That's just insane. You ain't gonna win no football game letting no offense run the ball all over you like that. Like TJ said, he said Kansas was just having a party on there. And shit, that's what happened. You feel me? Coach Prime had some big words for that team, for the team in the locker room after they lost. He said they just was they just got too big headed and ran up on the team who they was probably trying to overlook. And when they shouldn't have been overlooking them, they should have been focused and locked in, and they wasn't. And that's what happens. Uh, Number 21, Arizona took on number 14, BYU. It was a good game, but Arizona State was able to pull out that victory. And Arizona State looking like they can be playing for a Big 12 title too. So it's looking real thin for Colorado. Hopefully, we can see Arizona State play Colorado for the Big 12 championship. That'll be a crazy game because the the Sun Devils definitely they've been going crazy this year. I ain't even been keeping up with them like that, but they definitely been since they popped up inside the top 25. I've been watching them. They've been playing some good football. They got a nice defense, and they got a nice quarterback who leading them too. Uh, Number 6, Fighting Irish was able to beat Army. I told y'all that was gonna be a good game just because Army been playing crazy. They was undefeated too. So the Fighting Irish definitely gave Army their first loss. They 49-14. But shout out to the Fighting Irish, and they keep their college football playoffs alive too. Right now, that's all. That's all it's really about right now. Boise State number 12, sitting right at number 12, right on the borderline of the college football playoffs, and they hoping they gonna try to ride Ashton Genty all the way to the college football championship, hopefully, because they was able to pull out another win too, 17-13. These games starting to get closer and closer, so everybody's starting to try to kind of figure out they know they gonna run the ball, so they starting to fill that box up. And Genties keep running it strong, but ultimately they're gonna start have to figure out a different way to start beating teams because 17-13, and this wasn't even against a top ranked opponent. So when they get in them college footballs playoffs, they gonna definitely have to mix it up a little bit. Uh, Number 7 Alabama lose to Oklahoma. After Oklahoma been losing the last couple of weeks, they come up big against number 7 Alabama, 24-3. Milroe threw 3 picks. It just all around. It wasn't no good game for Alabama. It wasn't no good game at all. They turned the ball over. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't pass the ball. They couldn't get no stops on defense. All around, ultimately, it was just a bad game for them. And, Oklahoma just capitalized on every opportunity they was able to get. So hopefully we're gonna see where Alabama land. I ain't checked Alabama in the new polls yet since after they lost. They probably since I seen Indiana at number 10, I'm thinking that Alabama probably sitting outside that top 12, and they college football playoff hopes just closed on them. Not probably yet, but it's definitely that window definitely closing up on them, and that's gonna be crazy not seeing Alabama in a college football playoffs, knowing they supposed to be there. They definitely supposed to be there, but how the season been going, I don't think they gonna ultimately I don't think they gonna beat us. A lot of hungry teams this year, and I don't think Georgia gonna repeat. I don't think Alabama gonna be in a. So look for somebody. I think Ohio State, probably Oregon, because Oregon just been dominating there since they've been number one. They've been playing like the number one team in the country. So look for Oregon to finish the season strong and make a push for the national championship. But other than them in Ohio State, I don't really see too many competitors especially after seeing Ohio State dominate the Hoosiers in the playoffs. I probably think the Hoosiers I think they're gonna probably make it to a second round at the most. But after that, it's probably gonna be tough, especially it's gonna be definitely tough if they gotta play like Ohio State in like a first round matchup or something like that. Then it's definitely gonna be hard on them. But make sure y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about college football playoffs right now, and who y'all think gonna sneak in and who y'all think should be in, or who y'all think gonna win the national championship. Me right now, like I said, I think right now it's gonna be Oregon or Ohio State. You feel me? My boy Brandon, he said Ohio State, and right now they after they lost to the Oregon, which they barely lost, it's looking like they really the number one team in the nation too, other than Oregon. So and Texas, Texas up there too, but Texas been barely getting out of games right now. I don't know how Quentin Evers gonna finish the season, but depending on how he finished the season and how he performed in the college playoffs, we're gonna have to see though, because against Georgia, it was tough. It was tough when he played against Georgia. So we're gonna see about. But make sure y'all leave a comment and let me know who y'all team is and what y'all think about the college football playoffs right now. And also too, here's some college football games I think y'all should check out upcoming next week. Well, this coming Saturday, Oregon State take on number 12 Boise State, and like I said, Boise State just barely these last couple of games. Boise State they point deficit been shorter and shorter. They won like 2 games by like 7, and this game, the last game, they just won by like 4 points. So a team like Oregon State, I checked them out a little bit. I caught them one Saturday. They got a nice defense and they got a nice little mobile quarterback. So Boise State definitely gonna have to watch out for them. So that's gonna be one game y'all should definitely check out. Number 16 Colorado taking on Oklahoma State. Look for the Buffs to get back in the win column and make a push still for the Big 12 championship, and still can try to make a push for the college football playoffs if it ain't too late. And Ole Miss, see if they can bounce back after a loss to Florida that I know hurt. They're gonna be taking on Mississippi State. Look for them to try to get back in the win column. Georgia Tech taking on Georgia. You already know it's the battle of the G's. And Georgia Tech, they've been upsetting people. So don't be surprised if they able to beat Georgia and knock them off, because we already been seeing that Georgia Tech, they started off knocking off team. They just knocked off. I think they just knocked off Miami. If I ain't mistaken, they just knocked off Miami. So Georgia Tech been upsetting people. So watch out for Georgia Tech. Number 11 Tennessee taking on Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, a nice team, a team that beat Alabama early on the season, a team that took Texas to a good game. Texas barely got it out of that game. So uh, if Tennessee play around, Vanderbilt definitely upset them too. They number 11 right now. I know they want their college football hopes to still be alive, so they better not overlook Vanderbilt at all. Uh, Number 19 Army taking on UTSA. Hopefully they can get back in the win column and at least stay up in the top 25 polls. Army been having a nice season this year. They lost to the Fighting Irish, which is a good team. They a top 10 team in the nation right now. So hopefully they can get back to their winning ways. Michigan take on Ohio State, one of the biggest rivalries in college football. But I already know Ohio State gonna handle them. Number 18 South Carolina taking on number 17 Clemson. That's going to be a good game. I'm usually a Clemson fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm usually a Clemson fan, but as of lately, I ain't been really liking their gameplay. I ain't been liking the coaching or I ain't been really seeing no players come out of that. But they've been ranked all year and they've been having an okay season. They're going to be taking on South Carolina, another team that's been having a good season that recently just got jumped into the top 25 teams in the nation, and they still pushing right now too. So that shit gonna be a good game too. Uh, Arizona State taking on Arizona, another good rivalry. That's gonna be a good game. And like I say, Arizona State, they trying to make their way to a title game too. So look for them to keep their winning streak going on too. Uh, and another game, Miami gonna be taking on Syracuse. Syracuse, a nice defense. They got a nice offense. They got a nice running game. They got a nice quarterback. If you give him some time, he can make some good throws. I feel like he gonna be. I don't know if he gonna come out the draft this year, but if he come out the draft this year, I feel like he gonna be a person who gonna be a steal late in that second, third round. So definitely tune into that game just because I feel like you're gonna see some future stars. And plus, on top of that, Cam Ward, he keeping his Heisman campaign going, and he trying to lead the Hurricanes to a national championship. Uh, Auburn take on Alabama. The Battle of Alabama, you already know that's gonna be a crazy game. The environment gonna be crazy, and Alabama ain't moved. They still sitting at number 7. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Look for Auburn. I'm taking Auburn to go in and upset Alabama. I think right now mentally Alabama just out of it. You feel me? I feel like they just out of it. They sitting at number 7 right now, but that's politics. But I feel like if Auburn can go in there and upset them, that's gonna knock them out of it. Uh, Another good game gonna be number 3 Texas taking on number 15 Texas A&M. You feel me? A lot of rivalry. It's gonna be a lot of rivalries this week. So man, pick your team and roll with them. But I got Texas. You feel me? I got Texas over Texas A&M. Even though Texas A&M a nice team this year, but I got Texas. Let's go Longhorns. I actually got them. To me, other than Oregon and Ohio State, I got Texas probably winning the national championship. But there's gonna be another tough test for them right here when they playing Texas A&M. Oregon take on Washington. Washington ain't been no good team ever since Michael Penix Jr. Left. But like I said, late in the season, that's when the most upsets start happening anyway. But like I said, Oregon been playing so good since they've been ranked number 1. I don't really see nobody knocking them off until they play like Ohio State again, or they gonna have to play somebody with just a crazy defense. Other than that, look for them to keep it rolling. But like I said, man, leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about these upcoming games this week. And like I said, also leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about the college football playoffs and who y'all think gonna win. Do y'all think it's gonna be Oregon? Do you think it's gonna be Ohio State? Or do you think it's gonna be Texas? You feel me? Them to me, them my top 3 teams. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll talk about it on the show. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. So you already know the last thing we're gonna get into for y'all, man. We're gonna get into some NFL games, Joe. And we're gonna start it off with Monday Night Football. It was yesterday. The Ravens took on the Chargers. It was a good game, but the Ravens ended up taking a victory, 30-23. Lamar Jackson had 177 passing yards. He had 2 touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdowns. Derrick Henry 140 yards rushing. And, the Ravens get right back to their winning ways, just like that. And look for them to finish the season strong. Lamar Jackson totaled his touchdowns to 30 total touchdowns with his third rushing touchdown of the season. He got 27 passes. He only got 3 interceptions this year, so he looking like another back-to-back MVP season for him. So shout out to the Ravens. The Eagles played the Rams. The Eagles ran all over the Rams, 37-20. Saquon Barkley had a career night, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. AJ Browns had over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown, and they did this with no Devontae Smith. Like I said, the Eagles been rolling now, just like they fifth straight win now, and Saquon Barkley just putting them on their backs, and he running away with it right now. And they just added him into the MVP talks. And the last time we seen the running back win the MVP was Adrian Peterson. And Adrian Peterson ran over 2,000 yards that season, I believe. So Saquon Barkley, they say he on the pace to outrun that. So let's see if he do it. If he do it, that's gonna be a hell of a run. Shout out to Saquon Barkley and the Eagles though. The Cardinals took on the Seahawks, a rivalry I already know about. And the Cardinals was riding high because they've been on a winning streak lately. The Seahawks just coming off a big win against the 49ers last week. Then they stopped the Cardinals in their tracks. They end up winning 16-6. Uh, that's 2 wins now for the Seahawks back to back now against the 49ers and against the Cardinals. So some big division wins for them, and they can try to push themselves to the playoffs, playoff victory too. The Cardinals just wasn't able to get it going offensively, and that's really come down. That's what it really came down to. Kyler Murray ended up throwing a pick, but um, just got to be able to score points, and they ran up on the Seahawks team who was just ready for them. The Packers took on the 49ers, always a good game, but the Packers ended up taking this game 38-10. No Brock Purdy today, so the offense was kind of bland for the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey couldn't really do nothing on the running game, and the passing game, Kittle had a good game, but other than that, it wasn't too much to brag about. Jordan Love, 163 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He didn't turn the ball over, so I guess that's a plus, and that's probably a reason why it wasn't a game because he didn't turn the ball over. But shout out to the Packers because they sitting up at number second. I think they sitting at second in their division right now. Um, the Broncos, man, the Broncos. Bo Nix and the Broncos pull out another victory, man. They end up beating the Raiders 29-19. Bo Nix, 273 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He ain't been turning the ball over no more. He seemed like he getting comfortable, and he seemed like he finna start running away with this rookie of the year talk right now, the way it's looking. The Lions win big, 24-6. Well, like how they say, BTA belt to ass. They put the belt to ass again. Jamil Gibbs, 90 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. Montgomery a touchdown. They ain't even need Jared Goff to throw no touchdowns for them today. They ran the ball good. They moved the ball up and down the field all good. And they defense just been stout defense all year, man. They've been almost down there pitching shutouts. 6 points is then 0 points when a team up 24 points, put up 24 points up on you. But shout out to the Lions, man. They riding high. They looking like the best team in the NFL right now. The Bucks end up pulling out a easy win against the Giants, 30-7. Bucky Irvin, a nice running game, 87 yards. He had a touchdown. Everybody ate on the backfield today. Even Baker Mayfield ate Sunday. He ended up getting a rushing touchdown. All three running backs got a touchdown. Helped the Bucks push a victory over the Giants. Hopefully the Bucks can try to sneak their way into a wild card at least. Luckily, if they can keep it going, Mike Evans had a game. He was his first game back after being sidelined with a hamstring. He had over 50 yards. He didn't have no touchdown, but when they run the ball like that, look for them to start passing that ball real soon. The Chiefs was able to outlast the Panthers 30-27. The Panthers had a crazy second half and started just to make plays and end up running the ball and was able to make this game a close game late in the second half. But the Chiefs already know give Patrick Mahomes the ball last, and that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna win games for you. He had 3 touchdowns. He had 269 passing yards. Noah Gray had 2 touchdowns. D Hop with a touchdown. But games like that, you can't let them teams come from behind, man. I think they got kind of laxed on defense and just started letting the Panthers uh start making plays late in the game and just thought they was gonna be able to run away with the game and they end up turning about to be a little closer. You got to be able to put teams like that away, man. The Panthers shouldn't even made it close to that type of score. So definitely got to play better though for the Kansas City Chiefs though. But shout out to them for getting the wins. The Dolphins riding a 4 game winning streak right now. Since Tua came back from the concussion, they beat the Patriots 34 to 15. Tua threw for 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. And Waddle had a crazy game on his best games all season. He had 144 receiving yards and a touchdown. A-Chain had 2 touchdowns receiving too. And like I said, Tua is the man for the Dolphins, period. As long as Tua is in that lineup for them, they're going to have a chance to win. They're going to have a chance to compete. We already know the one thing is when they play the top teams, is they going to show up. But teams like they've been playing lately, them teams we already know they can beat, and we expecting them to do that. But shout out to Tua. He's been playing well since he came back from injury and trying to stay away from and trying to stay on the field. Uh, the Washington Commanders, man, they lose their third straight game to the Cowboys, 34 to 26. Man, it was a crazy game out there. It was a slow game. Both teams had 3 going into halftime, and then both teams just kicked in the offense. Cooper Rush ended up throwing 2 touchdowns. Jaden Daniels matched that with 2 touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions. I feel like that was kind of a turning point and boosted boosted it up for the Cowboys to get it on what they needed to make the hump. But late in that second half, the kicker missed the extra point to tie the game up, and you need plays like that. And I feel like that kind of depleted the team. The Cowboys came out and one scored the up the score, and then after that it was really over with. That was all she wrote. But the Commanders, after having a good season, they lose 3 straight games now, and they've been close games, but they just got to get back into the winning column. Jaden Daniels had a good game. He had a slow start to the game. You feel me? Off defense probably starting to figure out a little the offense a little more, so they probably trying to implicate a little more. He had 2 turnovers that was costly, but ultimately they gotta win games like that. They've been in these last 3 games been like that. They gotta be able to stick those games out and win. Uh, Another team was in another close game on this another week with another division was the Bears took on the Vikings. The Bears losing overtime 30 to 27. Even though in that second half was a crazy second half. If anybody watched the game, the Vikings was up 27 to 16. The Bears was able to score 11 points before the regulation ended and sent the game into overtime. And they just missed out on opportunities on offense when they got the ball to start overtime and they just couldn't capitalize. And they almost came up big with a they thought the Vikings fumbled on a punt return, but all in all, the Vikings was able to get in position to kick a field goal to win the game. Sam Darnold had a good game, 330 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Aaron Jones had a good game rushing the ball, 106 yards rushing. He had a touchdown. Caleb Williams showed some promise. He had 340 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, but there was his first 2 touchdowns he done threw in. I think probably about in the last 3 to 4 games. He ain't had no pass or touchdown. So I mean, you can say he coming along, but at the end, he threw 2 late touchdowns when they could have been early, and I feel like when late in that drive, he missed Romeo Duzier on 2 passes that could have gave him a little more extra time where they could have kicked the ball off and got a stop and probably went for the win instead of going for that tie to send it into overtime. But it's all come down to clock management and your quarterback being able to make throws. He's still been showing inconsistency on throws that he should be making. Like I said, I think he be overdoing it sometimes. He just probably needs to slow down. Um, Another crazy game was the Titans upset the Texans 32 to 27. The Texans just couldn't run the ball after Joe Mixon just came off a crazy game running the ball. They just couldn't get the running game going at all. C.J. Stroud had a turnover. Tony Pollard had a good game rushing the ball, 119 rushing yards, a touchdown, and Tennessee just put out a tough victory against a good team. Texans, who just had came off a win, getting Nico Collins back, who also had a good game this game too. But Texans, they couldn't get the running game going, and I feel like if they can't get their running game going, it was a wrap after that. The Texans the Titans delivered the pressure. They kept sending the pressure. They got turnovers, and they was able to just outlast. They was just able to outlast them. Really, that's what it really came down to. Defense. The defense won that game for the Texans. And another good game was Thursday, a crazy game. If y'all didn't catch that game, the Steelers lose to Jameis Winston and the Browns, 24-19. Nick Chubb had 2 rushing touchdowns. Jameis Winston also had a touchdown of his own, and it came down to a first of all, it started snowing crazy. It was a light snow game, and then out of nowhere, it just started crazy snow, like you can probably barely see. So I know they could barely see on the field. The Steelers was able to get 2 touchdowns later on in the game to make it just a 1 possession game, and it came down to a Hail Mary pass. They got knocked down in the end, but like uh like I said, the Steelers starting they was riding high. They ran into a nice defense. They ran into a nice defense like the Browns, and some crazy uh weather. But in the end, no matter what the weather is, you still got to come out and compete. And the Browns outcompeted them that game. James Winston had a big game throwing the ball. He ain't throwing no touchdowns, but he did get a rushing touchdown. And just his aura, and since he been starting on that team, that the team they just feeding off him. And they only won 3 games. They 3-8, but hey man, winning feel good when you be losing so much. So shout out to the James Winston, and shout out to the Browns for knocking the Steelers off that high horse, man, and knocking them off that win streak that they've been on lately, as of lately. But man, Joe, we got some good games coming up this Sunday. You feel me? So I want y'all to make sure y'all tune in. The Bears versus the Lions. Like I said, this gonna be the toughest test for the Bears when they play inside their division. So they playing another game this 3 weeks back to back. Now they finna play the Lions. That we already be seeing what the Lions has been doing to people. BTA, you feel me? I'm looking for the Lions to do the same thing to the Bears, even though the Bears do have a little better defense. I'm looking for the Detroit to figure out the Bears defense and put points up on them boys. And you already know it's gonna be tough on Caleb Williams, because the Detroit Lions defense ain't no pushover. They've been showing that it's hard for them to score points. It's hard for them to run the ball. So look for Detroit to go in and stop that right off the bat. The Dolphins take on the Packers. Like I said, the Dolphins just 1 win away from being over 500. They on a win streak since Tua came back. They playing the Packers. They second in their division right now, right behind the Detroit Lions. And look for them to stop the Vikings in their win streak. But look for the Miami Dolphins to be looking for that win to try to push themselves for a wild card spot and try to make a run for that playoffs. Long as Jordan Love don't turn the ball over, it should be a good game for the Packers, and the Packers should come out on top of that game. Only if he don't turn the ball over. The Chiefs take on the Raiders. Tough rivalry. You already know how this gonna be. It's always a tough game when the Chiefs play the Raiders. But like I said, if they could come out executing how they did in the first half of their game Sunday and jump on top of them like they did the Panthers, they need to keep the gas on all game, defensively and offensively. Keep the foot on the gas all game, never let up. And teams like this, they need to put away quickly and just make an example out of them and let people know that they're getting ready for the playoffs, because the playoffs is definitely near, and it's getting time. The Texans taking on the Jaguars. Hopefully Trevor Lawrence be back and be playing in this game against the Texans, and just look for the Texans to get back in the win column. They just came off a tough loss to the Titans. They know it in a game that they should win after performing that they did last week. They supposed to win that game and didn't. Look for them to be playing with some animosity and take it all out on the Jaguars, and it should be a good game. The Chargers take on the Falcons. Two good teams that I think should be gonna probably also be a wild card team. I think Falcons and the Chargers are probably gonna be a 6 seed in both of their divisions in the playoffs. The Chargers just lost to the Ravens, so look for them to get revenge. The Falcons coming off a loss last week, look for them to get back in the win column with Kirk Cousins. So both teams, uh, they just like I said, playoffs coming, man. Everything about the playoffs right now. So everybody need the wins. Everybody need to win out right now. So look for both of them teams to get back in the win column. Justin Herbert, he been playing some good football. He had a good Monday night. Kirk Cousins, somebody who I was been real critical about this season. He been playing up and down this season, but he got the Falcons in a good position right now. So it should be a good game. The Seahawks take on the Jets. The Jets, the Jets just is just going through all type of problems right now. Uh, Season ain't turning out how they wanted to, and it's just a lot of turmoil. Head coach gone, GM gone, so it's just a lot going on with the Jets. And then Seahawks, who coming off 2 wins back to back against rivalries. Look for the Seahawks to keep. I think they gonna do the same thing to the Jets, beat them and stay on their winning streak because they trying to get into the playoffs too. The Titans take on the Commanders. I'm still looking for Washington to bounce back. They haven't bounced back ever since they took that tough loss to the Eagles. Every game been tough for them lately, and they've been just a one possession game. They've been coming down to, but I'm looking for them to get that offensive back rolling early and get back to making them deep plays, how they was doing them good running plays, the good screens. They defense coming out going crazy. I'm looking for the Commanders to turn around and get back in that win column and so they can be in the playoffs. I believe Jane Daniels gonna probably make some. He gonna. I really want to see what he gonna do in the playoffs. But I really feel like he gonna open a lot of eyes in the playoffs, but they definitely got to get back into the winning column first before they do anything. And I think that's gonna start. I wanted this to start last Sunday, but it seemed like it's gonna have to start this Sunday with the Titans. They're gonna have to show the league that they mean business, and all that just wasn't a fluke. The Steelers take on the Bengals, a good rivalry. The Bengals, who defense has been playing bad all season. The defense been showing up. Joe Burrow all season. He been playing good all season and having the Bengals up there and try to win games, but the defense just been giving it up for them. And they're going against the Steelers team who just lost against the Browns. So we're gonna see how that team responds after they've been on the winning streak as well. We're gonna see how they respond mentally after coming off a loss like that to the Browns. But it should just be a good game, man. It's always a good game when the Bengals and the Steelers go at it. Hard hitting game, physical game. You feel me? Look for Joe Burrow and Russell Wilson to be going deep to George Pickens and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase leading the league right now in all three categories: receiving yards, catches, and touchdown. George Pickens sitting at third in receiving yards right now. Just like I said, look for it to be a tough, hard-nosed football game. A good Sunday football game for sure. Always a good game when the Vikings and the Cardinals play. The Vikings coming off a good game. Sam Darnold threw 330 yards, no interceptions, clean game. The Cardinals coming off a tough loss like that against a rival. So both of these teams really in good position right now as looking for the postseason, but both teams trying to stay alive right now. So it should be a good game. Look for Justin Jefferson. He had one catch for 7 yards against the Bears. You know, this next game he gonna be calling for the ball. They gonna be wanting him to get the ball. I know he got up there and said that hey, he want other people to eat, but everybody know he gonna be wanting you. That's a receiver, man. Receiver be wanting catches. I like how he got up there and played it off because he didn't want to make nobody make everything seem like it's about him. They got the win, but all in all, you got to get that ball to Jay Jettas. That's your number one best player on that team. He got to get the ball, even though that Bears defense is a good defense. And Jalen Johnson is a good corner. They got a good nickel corner with Kyle Gordon, so they probably had a good scheme going on for him. But with somebody like Jay Jettas, with his route running ability, you got to be able to still get him the ball, Sam Darnold. He got to get the ball sometimes. You feel me? The Rams take on the Saints. The Saints who are coming off a bad week, but they just had one. They just came off back-to-back wins since the season opener. The Rams just came off a huge loss to the Eagles. With Saquon Barkley going call crazy over them, look for the Rams to get back in the win column and look for the Saints to finish their season out strong. If you ask me. Uh, Another good game is gonna be the Eagles versus the Eagles take on the Ravens. That's gonna be the game of the week. If you ask me, it should be the game of the week. The Eagles on a winning streak. The Baltimore Ravens. You already know they got they got their mindset on the championship. Lamar Jackson playing at an MVP level right now. He a front runner for the MVP. Saquon Barkley MVP level right now. He's sitting at top three in the MVP race right now. Look for that game to be a great game, probably a high scoring game, or just because Saquon Barkley can do so much in a passing and a rushing game, and if Devontae Smith come back, that's gonna be another receiver that Baltimore Ravens defense gonna have to worry about, and look for Derrick Henry to be running that ball strong. He just came off another 140 yards game. That's another 100-yard game this season. Look for him to be running the ball. Look for Lamar Jackson to be running the ball, and be looking for them to be passing the ball with Zay Flowers. He had a good game last game. Rashad Bateman had a touchdown catch Monday night. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, they got a lot of weapons on offense, so you never know what the Baltimore Ravens will hit you with. Then all in all, they still got Lamar. They still got Lamar Action Jackson. You feel me? So that game gonna be a real good game. So make sure y'all tune into that game. The 49ers gonna be taking on the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are a real good team this year. Josh Allen been playing at an MVP season too. Hopefully Brock Purdy back for the 49ers. But all in all, I really feel like the 49ers season really probably over with at this point, especially after they take on the Buffalo Bills, because I think the Buffalo Bills gonna win. So after they take on the Buffalo Bills, I feel like their season gonna really be pretty much over with. I feel like the window for the wild card really closed on them, especially after they lost against the Seahawks and they lost back-to-back games. And then they taking on a real tough opponent against Buffalo Bills, who had time to rest up coming off a bye week. It's gonna be it's definitely gonna be a tough game on them. But and then you also got the Browns who gonna take on the Broncos. The Broncos who are really a surprise team this year. The Broncos is they only 7-5, so they still got it's still three more games. They could probably if they can win their last three and go 11-5 or 10-6 or something like that, they could probably sneak their way into the playoffs too. Sean Payton he figured out he figured out the secret to Bo Nix, and Bo Nix and he learning from him, and they working together, and the Broncos been playing some good football early on. Bo Nix was turning the ball over a lot, fumbling, interception. He been cutting it down. He leading the offensive rookie of the year. He leading all offensive rookies in total touchdowns. So he been having a good year. He been finishing the season strong. So against the Browns defense, I'm looking for Myles Garrett to be putting some pressure on him. I'm looking for the Browns to send some pressure on him to try to cause some turnover because, like I said, he ain't been turning the ball over lately these few weeks. So look for the Browns to go in and cause turnovers. I feel like if the Browns cause turnovers and get into his head a little bit, then they gonna be able to pull out this victory because James Winston, he gonna come out slinging the ball. He been throwing the ball to Jerry Jeudy. He been getting the ball to everybody. Nick Chubb back in that lineup getting back to up to game speed. He had two touchdowns against the Steelers. So yeah, look for the Browns to come and put on a good game. Just because they 3-8 don't mean they ain't gonna come out and play no football. But make sure y'all leave a comment and let me know what y'all think about these week 13 matchups. You feel me? What teams that I pick wrong, or what teams you pick. Leave me a comment and let me know. And also let me know what y'all think the playoff picture gonna look like after this week too. Leave a comment and let me know. We could talk about it on the show. But you already know, man. This was another episode of Great Conversations and Guests. It's your boy Turbo. Remember to add me on Instagram at DMG Turbo. For y'all who got Facebook, add me on Facebook at John Morant. Make sure y'all add my boy TJ Behind the Lens at Taj_Melo on Instagram. And man, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all keep fucking with us. We're gonna keep dropping this shit.